Hey, what's up guys? This is the Coding Geek here, and today I'm going to be teaching you guys how to install your very own AutoBlogging WordPress website. I'm going to be using the plugin framework known as Feed WordPress to do this, along with a few essential plugins that I've identified along the way of doing this numerous times. And so what we're going to do to go ahead and get started here is we're going to head over to www.thecodinggeek.com. If you notice on my main page here, I've got an article about setting up the perfect auto-blogging WordPress website in 2013. So we're going to go ahead and click on that. And you guys can certainly read through this on your own time, but basically what I've done is I've taken all of the essential plugins that you're going to need to complete this tutorial, and I've packaged them up into what we call a plugin pack, and I've made that available for download on my website. All these plugins are completely free. I've just simply taken them and bundled them together to make it easier for you guys. So once you find this download button, we're going to go ahead and click on that to download the necessary plugin pack. It's a small file, shouldn't take long at all to download. After we've done that, go ahead and clean that up. Head over here and extract my plugin pack. Open up that folder, and if you notice, we have our plugins here. So now we're going to do a simple FTP or SFTP or SCP transfer, however you guys want to do it. I'll just use straight FTP for my tutorial. Copy all of those. Drag this guy over so we can see him. Sorry, I'm having a little bit of trouble here. Alright, drag all these over. Shouldn't take long to upload these using FTP, but I'm going to put you guys on hold while this takes place. I'm back. So now we have all of our plugins uploaded. Took me actually less than 2 minutes, but I didn't want you guys to sit here and listen to me breathe and watch that. So go ahead and clean that up. Close all of our folders. And now we're going to head over to our website. So I'm going to open up Chrome. I'm going to head over to my demo website that I'll be using today. And go ahead and make sure and click on your installed plugins. What we're going to have to do now, once this loads, is we're actually have to go through and activate all of the plugins that we just uploaded. As you can see here, they're all listed. So we're just going to start with the main one, the Feed WordPress plugin. We're going to go ahead and activate it. Easy enough. So we're just going to continue on down the line here. We're going to activate the SEO fix, the ADA Feed WordPress keyword filters, the add attribution, or in some cases what people know as the boilerplate, the regex replace, the much needed Sikkim plugin, and that's it. So now that we have all of we have a framework up and running, as well as all of the supporting plugins. You guys are going to notice that over here in your left-hand menu side, you're going to see a syndication link. This is where we're actually going to tell it which RSS feeds we want to pull in and generate content from. It only takes a few seconds to do, and so I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how we would do that, and actually show it to you working, so you guys can make sure and believe me that we're setting up the right thing. What I've done is I like the website crack.com, so I'm heading over and I've pulled up their RSS page. They actually use FeedBurner, but that doesn't matter. We're going to still use it, so we're going to copy this URL, head back over to our website. We're going to go to syndication, syndicated sites, and we're going to add a new source simply by copying that RSS feed, clicking the add button. And as you can see, what it's doing is it's going to go out, it's going to take a look, it's going to make sure we've given it a valid RSS feed, and it's going to give you kind of a brief preview of what it's looking at, what it's actually pulling in, how it's going to be formatted. Once you're happy with that, you're going to go ahead and click the Use This Feed button. You guys are more than welcome to donate to Feed WordPress if you would like. I have already done so, so I'm going to just go ahead and dismiss this. And now we're going to head over. If you notice now I have a cracked all post syndicated site. We're just going to go through some options here to make sure this thing is set up correctly. We're going to start with the Feed tab. We're going to make sure that it's updated automatically. We're going to let the short description be provided by the feed itself, and of course this is the home page of which we're pulling the feed from. For the update schedule, we're just going to leave it set on the current schedule. And we're basically going to leave all of these options the same. We're going to head over to the Post tab now. And we're going to leave most of these options the same. What we really want to look for in this particular tab is the syndicated images section. Basically what this does is it's going to avoid hot linking. It's going to, when it pulls a new article in, the syndicated images plugin is going to ingest that image and add it to your very own media library. This is good because it's going to avoid hot linking, and it's also going to make sure that you're not stealing bandwidth from other websites, you know, that type of stuff. So host your own content. That's one thing that I'm very adamant on when it comes to this type of system. And the syndicated images plugin, or SYCM, is what is going to allow us to do that. If you notice, the kind of system-wide setting is simply to hot link. We're going to change that to capture a copy. We're going to tell it to just display the image. We can set it as a featured image, but make sure your theme supports that. So in this case, we're just going to display the image. We can have it leave the post completely alone so that the images are in the exact same place. We can set it up so that it creates a WordPress gallery above or below. In this case, I'm going to have it once again set to just leave it alone. And if you wanted to, you guys can come in here and tell it to only pull in images of a certain width or height. You can also set it up to only pull in certain image types or not pull in certain image types. And this last option here is pretty critical. What we're going to do is, by default, if it can't pull an image in, it continues to leave it as a hot link. We're going to change that and tell it to strip the image out. So this is one way we can avoid all hot linking possibility. This next section here that you guys are going to notice is the attribution boilerplate. What this is going to allow us to do is, if you read the description on the right side, is let us set some options that will allow us to give links back to the original source if we wanted to, a continue reading type script. There's some very powerful things you can do with this. So I definitely would recommend looking into it. Probably get to that in a later tutorial. And the last one we're going to talk about on this page is the regex replace. Just like the attribution boilerplate, the regex replace is very powerful. Uses standard PHP regexes that can be used to change the title of the post on the fly, to add the RSS syndication feed name into it. It can be used for a lot of other things. I use the regex replace script almost on every website that I've set up with AutoBlogging features. And if you guys wanted to, you could set up a keyword filter. Now in this particular case I'm not. I'm just going to pull everything in. But if you guys wanted to take only certain items out of an RSS feed and pull them into your site, this is where you would actually set that up. So we're going to click the Save Changes button. We're going to head over to the Author section. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to change it so that everything that comes in is going to be assigned to admin. You can certainly set it up so that the original author gets created as a local user on your WordPress site, and it appears as if it was written by them. But here again, that's a little shady in my opinion. We're simply indexing and hosting someone else's content on our site. We're not trying to create our own or claim it as our own, which is why we're going to avoid that situation by just simply setting it to assign as admin. Save these changes. And the last one we're going to head over to is the Categories tab. I'm going to set it up so that it will create new categories as the feeds come in. If I don't have that category, it will create it. If I do, it will put that post in the correct category. You can set up your own categories ahead of time and force it to only use those, but for this particular example, we're going to keep it easy, and we're just going to tell it to create new categories for us. It will also create new tags. It's a whole slew of powerful options here, but we're going to just leave the default setup for this one. And we're going to tell it to use the global settings, which is basically to create categories. If we wanted to, we could set this to no and force it into a particular category that already is existing on our WordPress website. I'm going to save these changes. Now we're going to head back to the syndicated sites section. You notice here it has not been updated yet, so we haven't technically pulled anything in. We're getting ready to change that though. We're going to head over to the general. These are your global settings, by the way, over here. So this is where we're actually going to set up an update schedule. We're going to head over to the feeds and updates. And this second section here, the update scheduling, we're going to change this from cron job or manual to automatically check for updates before pages load. It's going to poll every 60 minutes for an update, which is plenty. I would definitely not pull that down any lower. Some RSS feeds these days actually set their own schedules up, so even if you were to change it, they're going to dictate your update schedule. So just leave it as the default 1 hour or 60-minute time frame, and you guys will be good to go. Save these changes. Head back over one last time to the syndicated sites section, and we're going to tell it to go ahead and update now. It's going to take just a second, especially on the first pull, because it's actually going to pull in everything that RSS feed has. And as you can see, we have now pulled in 35 new posts from cracked.com. So just like that, within a matter of 3 seconds, I have auto-generated 35 posts. Every 60 minutes, it's going to go out and check and pull in even more posts. So this thing can scale very large in a very quick time frame. If you guys need a lot of content, you need it in a short amount of time. Just to show you guys what this looks like, we're going to actually take a look at the site. And here again, this is my basic site. There's no theme. There's haven't actually set anything up. But as you guys notice, look here, we have post after post after post pulled in from cracked.com. You click on a topic, and it takes me to cracked.com. Some guys are probably going to go, why is it doing that? Well, there's one option that we left out of the feed WordPress configuration, and go over that real quick with you guys. If you head over to your post and links section back in your dashboard, your second section here, your link section, is set by default to the copy on the original website. We're going to change that to the local copy on this website. So what that'll do is create more of a traditional page look. And we're going to save this change. before we forget. And now what we're going to do is we're going to change the cracked, or in your case, whichever feed you're going to set up, we're going to change the cracked post feed and add a boilerplate on the bottom that will add a continue reading type section. This is very popular on most websites to do this, so we're going to add it after the content. And this plugin has some really nice descriptions. For us, or for my example, I'm going to just use this original link. Going to make sure and say after. Paste this in, and I'm going to change the text to simply say continue reading ... Save the changes once more. You don't have to update your posts. All these changes are done on the fly. So once we've saved these, I can now go back. I'm going to hit my back arrow. And as you notice now, there are continue reading sections. So I click on the post. It's going to give an excerpt. In this case, it gives us a brief description of the post and the option to continue reading it over at crack.com. So, in a little under 20 minutes, you guys can very easily set up a complete AutoBlogging WordPress website using the tools that I've provided, along with a very brief description and a very quick install guide that we've covered today. I'll definitely do some more video guides on some more advanced settings that you can do with a system like this at a later date, but as it is, that should be enough to get you guys started. So thanks for paying attention, and good luck.